My name is Erica Downing. For those who have not been introduced to me before, I am co-founder and CTO of Flowbot Forge, as well as host of the Prosperity Pathways podcast. I specialize in systemizing your business. So even before the AI era and the AI boom, I would consult with different businesses to help systemize their operations on an enterprise level so that they can scale at an enterprise level. Once AI came out, I was able to incorporate my tech background into creating these systems for small and medium-sized businesses so that we can work more efficiently. And it's not necessarily about cutting people out of jobs. It's more so making their job more efficient, making them more productive, increasing your revenue per hour. Flowbot Forge offers several different services, but today we are going to go through putting together clarity in your operations so that you can create the systems that you need to operate more efficiently using AI and using Agentic workflow. Does anybody have any questions? I did share our information in the chat, and if you are coming in late and missed it, just let me know so I can share it again.
Thank you.
There's a link to the systems audit forge. And just give me a moment. I'm trying to share my screen so that we can walk through this. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, and before I get started, was at least half of everyone able to pull this up on their screen? Tablet, laptop, desktop, mobile
Yes.
phone? Was that Antonio that keeps speaking? Would you like to volunteer as I walk everyone through creating their systems with Agentic AI and utilizing Agentic AI?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, so in step one is just filling out the basic information, which I can see information. And what's your company name?
Yeah, it's just Grant Master Strategies LLC. So Grant, Grant Master, Master Strategies.
And your work email?
It's my Gmail, antonio.at@gmail.com. Yeah, there you go.
And so we're just putting in the basic information to start out. That way, if you need any follow-up help, and also it helps with context when we're building out this information. And so the end result is going to be skills and walkthrough instructions on automating whatever workflow or operational task that you feel like is draining your life and can be automated by agents. Now, there are parts of business that we all know cannot be automated and can only be handled by a human. And that's the purpose of AI and implementing these automated workflows, is so that you can free yourself and key team members to do those high level human only tasks. All right, so we filled out your email. Then the next two, core process mapping. Primary manual process name. So which one of these manual tasks do you feel like you spend too much time on and you need to automate or can be automated?
Say maybe the lead follow-up and cold outreach.
That's definitely a big problem for most people. That's why that's one of our biggest services we offer. And then the current tools that you use?
Yeah, I use I use Excel. I use certainly Gmail, Outlook. Yeah, we do Excel. That's fine. Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to let me use multiple, so that's when technology fails me. So, and then part 3, efficiency diagnosis. So weekly manual hours roughly that you spend on manual data entry and repetitive updates for this task.
Let's
0 to 2 hours, 3 to 5 hours, 6 to 10
yeah, 3 to
hours.
5. Yeah, 3 to 5. Where it is fine.
Okay. And then any bottlenecks? How often does a workflow stall because a human has to manually enter something or copy and paste something over? Is it rare, or does it happen once or twice, daily, or constant struggle?
I would say rarely.
And then the scalability. If a client or order volume doubled by tomorrow, how would this process be able to adapt to it? Would it be just fine? Would it be just a slight challenge, or would it completely break and you'd be pulling your hair out?
Well, I'm a one person firm. So let's it might be a challenge. Yeah.
Because when we go through these, we have to be completely honest with ourselves about whether or not, if let's say your capacity is 5 clients per week and tomorrow you had 20 clients ready to book with you, would you be able to
Right.
just be a challenge, or would you be like, oh snap, I don't know how I'm going to do?
Yeah, it'll be challenging for sure.
Okay. All right. So the next section, governance. The security. In your processes and your filing, are you making sure that all of your client data, your billing information, everything is completely secure at every step, especially if you're using AI?
I'm not really utilizing a lot of AI currently, but I do make sure that everything is secure. Yes.
Okay. And then if you hired a new person, how confident are you that they would be able to take over one of these tasks without messing it up or asking a million questions? Do you have the SOPs in place and your operating procedures that you can have somebody step in and you can go on vacation without having to check your phone every hour or every 10 minutes?
Yeah, not confident. I don't have the SOPs in place.
Okay. Okay. And then for audit readiness, can you instantly produce proof of team compliance and secure data handling training? Because Department of Labor does have an initiative now in place where people are being fined if they do not. But as you said, are the one person show, so it makes it a lot easier, but it still needs to be in place.
Yeah, probably I would say that I don't know where to start.
Okay.
Option.
Okay. And so primary growth bottlenecks. Select which pain point holds back your daily scalability. You can pick up to 2. Leads slipping through the cracks, zero operational visibility, slow inconsistent onboarding, security compliance anxiety, team overwhelmed or burnout.
Leads slipping through the cracks, team overwhelmed, burnout.
And then how familiar are you with AI? Which one of these tools do you use?
I use ChatGPT.
Okay. Do you use any of the other ones? Claude, Perplexity, Gemini?
No.
All right. So it gave you a manual grind score of 66%, which means you have a moderate drag. There is a lot of stuff that you do have to do yourself, but you're functioning. But if you had a major increase in volume tomorrow or next week, it would be a slight struggle, right?
Yes.
It wouldn't completely break you, but it would be a struggle. So the whole purpose in enveloping your business and your operations in these systems is so that if something like that were to happen, it wouldn't be so much of a challenge. It'd be easy. You have a escape plan or an emergency plan in place. You have all the SOPs. If you had to hire a temp person that you only need for a week, you can literally just hand them this guidebook on how to do it without spending most of that week training them. That makes sense?
It does.
Okay, so it says, hey, Antonio, our backend map your operational dependencies because you lose 3 to 5 hours weekly in manual lead follow-up and cold outreach updates, which it's a big loss depending on how big your contracts are, right?
Correct.
So here's an interactive map that shows how you can integrate AI into your workflows, creating intakes and using ChatGPT. And this looks very high level and complicated. I do understand that. But I also have a breakdown further down that tells you the amount of hours that you would be able to save, the revenue. This is just basically giving you the outcome of once you implement these blueprints. Further down is the actual blueprint. So we have a skill that you can customize even further. So out of everybody who's in the workshop, have you heard of skills? And have you heard of skills just period? Let me not make a whole group of everything. Is everyone able to open their mic and talk if they need to, or do you just want to? Okay, I have yeses.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I heard of skills.
Okay. What's your understanding of what a skill is?
My understanding is the skill is probably a function or some type of concentrated prompt that It's added to the AI to do a thing. So maybe this is a check your email skill or log in to a website. This skill can log into websites for you and do things, or and from because there are a lot of skills, and it's customized based on what you need it to do. That's my understanding of it because there's a plethora at this point.
Right. So a skill can be something for a specific task, but it can also be for a specific context. And so whenever you're building out agentic systems, or even if you're just using ChatGPT repeatedly for reports and emails, and that's your system because that's what works for you, you want to be able to start with as much context already built in as possible so that when you prompt it, it's like talking to somebody that's worked with you for 12 years. So a skill is also that. It's basically a knowledge base, the context that you provide completely, not just the actual task that it needs to do, but everything behind it. Hey, if this is how it needs to sound, this is the tone, this is our target audience, this is our region, this is the demographic, this is what their budget is, this is what my scope is for all of my leads when I qualify, because your reference, Antonio, is about lead qualifying, lead capture and lead generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's literally the whole process. You want to make sure that your agent knows what all of your KPIs are, what key information and your maximums and minimums are for the people that you want to work with and that need your assistance, or some people that just need to put in a funnel that you follow up with later. And you can incorporate that into a skill. So when you're building out these skills, like this one just built out a skill that gave you a recipe on how to actually build out the automation in plain English, and it provided the everything that you need to upload. And this will be emailed to you as well. And you can always run through it again, put in different information, see how it comes out. You can change them, you can update them. And I personally have one Gemini chat that I use just for creating skills. So that way
Can I ask you a question real quick? I went to the website. I think I clicked on it while you were talking. Is it your thing? You made this?
Yes. Yeah, I made this. I make a lot of different things. I'm making an app right now to help with networking because most of us have a hard time keeping up with our network, especially when it's extended people. It's not immediate family or immediate people that you work with. And those are the people that you keep in contact with on a regular basis because they're right there. But there's also leads that maybe they didn't have the funding right then and there that you need to follow up with on a monthly basis because at some point they're going to say yes. There might be family members, extended family member or two that supported you a lot and you wanted to keep in contact with, but you haven't talked to them in 3 years because you've been busy. So that app, once it's released, I'm actually doing crowdfunding for it right now, but once it's released, it'll have a special promo for all of these workshop participants, as well as Sycamore and Oak, period.
Hey, Mr. Erica, not to cut you off, but I have a question. Are you like a computer science engineer or some type of gateway engineer?
I'm sorry, repeat what
Or
you
I said, are you a computer science engineer or like a gateway engineer for creating like applications and stuff that's geared towards the AI?
Yes, I'm a full
You have a
stack.
bachelor of science in computer engineering?
I have actually 7 different certifications. I have a CompTIA. If I did share my LinkedIn as well.
CompTIA.
I have my CompTIA Security Plus, my CompTIA Network Plus, my CompTIA ITF Plus. I have Google Professional Shirt in project management, data analytics, um, training and building AI and large language models. I have AWS Cloud Practitioner and a few
What
other
about
things.
coding? For coding, like JavaScript or SolidWorks or whatever they call those
Oh
coding
yeah,
programs.
actually self-taught myself JavaScript, HTML, and C++ since 12.
Yeah, C++. Okay.
Yeah, when I was 12 and the colorback apples were out.
Yeah, you're a genius. Okay, you said enough. I got you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that stuff is highly difficult. So that's why I'm asking, a specific question.
Yeah, because
Okay, thank you.
no problem. Yeah, I've been self-taught in it. And the good thing about this group is that I was self-taught. I thought I was going to go into tech immediately after high school, but I didn't because life happened. I took a year gap that turned into a whole bunch of other stuff. And so my life, I thought I would have to work in food service. So I was in food service for about 20 years and still learning tech stuff in the background and earning my degrees. I have an associate's in culinary arts, a bachelor's in business with a focus on hospitality management. And then I have 2 classes left for my master's in business administration while I did all of the tech certifications as well. And I'm still doing more tech certifications. I'm in the Google developer group, the local Google developers group. So I get early access to a lot of their applications and features. And I love what they actually have coming out. I thought Google was behind everybody else, but they definitely have a lot of good tools coming out. I've used a lot of Claude, and Claude Cowork for me isn't worth the hype, but it is helpful. It's definitely very helpful. But ever since I've learned how to open source all of my code and things like that, because I know how to actually check behind my code, I feel like it's more effective for me to do all of that myself. Yes, Tony.
Yeah, so there's so many different tools and things of that nature that are out here. I had bought into these guys with the super app. Supposedly, it was a super app. It cost a lot of money. It was like $500 a month, but it was able to take whatever I wanted, like because I use Copilot a lot to galvanize the thought, and then maybe even do some prompts based on, like you said, have a conversation with the AI for content, and then we'll agree and whatever the case, will break it down, and I would transfer that to the super app, which will now task it and can, like, 1 to 10 make the whole solution. Now, my thing is that I'm always, I don't know if it's a cheapskate in me, but it's like if I'm paying this guy 5, and it's like we're like Claude doesn't cost that much because Claude is the sweetheart on X. When you get on X, the advertising and everything, it's Claude, 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 Claude's Claude skill, Claude, 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 and
Yeah.
you don't need anything else now. Claude plus, when you want to stack the apps, and that's where the skills is taking over because they're subsuming the skills. They're
Right.
subsuming these external apps like Obsidian, Higgsfield, Sora. These guys they're kind of getting rid of everybody's. I think in that situation, the big boys are trying to. It's a one-stop shop. You use us because we got the Apple ecosystem. So it's now going to be like your Apple or you Android or your whatever the case. But I guess my question was, nobody ever talks about the lower level LLM because I'm looking at a chat yesterday. We're like, I think it's 27 billion parameters. I think the parameters of it matter somewhere
Yeah.
along the line, and I don't know if for the context of where I am, or let's just even say food service, or anybody that's on the line that has ideas of doing other things, how can they maybe stack some of these lower level or unheard of, like for example, GPT is at 5 or so now, but GPT 3.5 is good enough to do probably everything I want to do. And if you add GPT 3.5 with this other one, maybe what is it, Llama, you add those two together, for me, that's good enough for me. Versus, I don't need a higher level. I don't need Gronk. I don't need DeepSeek.
Right.
You understand where I'm trying to go with that? You can elaborate on, since you like a scientist.
So how are you using those open source? And It just, for me, I feel like it just depends on the amount of time that you have because we are all entrepreneurs, right? And we're not trying to spend a lifetime learning a new set of skills. We want to be able to transfer what we have and what we need to be able to utilize something within a couple of hours or a few days, maybe even a week, because we don't have all the time in the world or hire somebody at a reasonable price. And that's why I actually have a whole group of people. I know a couple of different training institutions that are partnered with Anthropic, so Claude is definitely reaching their claws into everybody. But yeah, clarify for me how and like what context are you using these sources, these LLM?
Well, well, first of all, I don't want to make Amanda get mad at me. Let's make sure that we have to take that to the side because I don't
Okay.
want to get you off your agenda,
Okay.
and she beat me up.
Okay. Okay.
But I can
Has
answer it.
every
Nobody has an issue with that. I can answer.
Oh yeah, this is for the room. Basic what?
Yeah, we
Google
want to
is
hear the answer. Let's keep it in a nutshell if we can.
Yeah, I'm a
okay
nutshell.
because I feel like overall, all of this information can help you build your systems and your operations so that you operate more efficiently. And that's the goal of this whole workshop is to make sure that you know how to use AI and agentic AI, not just generative AI. So that is a big, quick question. Everybody knows the difference between generative AI and agentic AI?
No.
I'm looking, no? Okay, so the difference is generative AI is when you're just asking it to do something for you. Like it's just generating something. Hey, I need you to write an email. Hey, I need you to just surface level do something and then you have to do the rest of the steps with it. Agentic is something where you say, hey, I want you to write this email and send it to this person. It's doing something and completing a task for you as well in its simplest form for the explanation, Tony, about the LLMs.
Yeah, I think that I'm in the same space with everyone else. So I'm looking to get the agentic. That's where we went to. That's why I ended up trying to get the super app. And even with the super app, though, there are still a lot of ancillary skills that you have to learn because there's hosting. There's, when you make this app or put it out there, like Rails. I think a Rail, like Vercel or, GitHub, like your versioning. There's a lot that goes into these apps for you to own them and put them out there. I haven't got to the agentic part yet because there's still a lot more to it that I can understand. I don't like there's a lot more to it to understand because I'm not trying to do basic stuff. That's what I'm trying to learn every day. Like I need things that can do business things like CBE. I want to create the app that's going to go ahead and do it for me.
Right.
So once it can do it for me, I can sell that because I know that everybody's going to need that. And when I can get that done, then I'm graduated. But so generative, we start there. We look at the site. We grab the parameters, and then making it automate itself. That's what we hear looking at you.
All right. So which app? This app or just in general, how can you make an app and agentically to do what you want it to do using the least amount of resources, like not digging all the way in your pocket? You said the super app was 500 a month. I wouldn't do that. Can you name a specific task that you're trying to do so that way we can get specific?
Yeah, I want to be able to log in to a site. And then I would have already had precursor. I would have already had the information or some type of questionnaire about the business, everything that I need to know to fill out this application. So an application filling application filling agent.
Fill out what kind of applications because there's a
All of
security
them.
risk with that.
Well, security risks. Let's take away the security risk first.
Okay.
Let's say so forever startup dude. I know that if you want to do business with the airport, you're gonna have to fill out some type of something, right? So all these things take away from the time of an entrepreneur. So
Right.
if we can now simplify this, the form doesn't change. The requirements really don't change. You just have to log in. So something needs to control that login for me. All right, now I've logged in. I've created this. I've created the user. All right, now what's your business name? I know what that is because you filled that out in the form.
hmm
All right, what's your username? Okay, what's your business name? Your EIN, your da. What does your business do? I was able to, you type something in a blurb, and we came to an agreement that you do this. You sell egg rolls at a high clip. Okay, you're food service and you specialize in egg rolls. Cool. Okay, good. What did you make last year? We linked in your financial sheet or your cash app, whatever it is, and we were able to come to an agreement that you did 16,500 in sales last year. And and then we're gonna finish this application. Automate. Because I already have all the information. And if they kick anything back, that's the human part, right?
hmm
And even with that, you'll still analyze it. And I'm just saying I want to refine this process so that when I go to the next foray, I'm gonna sell that to Antonio and Je ne sais quoi. I'm selling it to him too. I don't know if he's a CBE or a Maryland-based business or whatever he's trying to do business at Apostolic. That's what I want.
So for filling out forms, I feel like that's a little complicated, like I said, because of the information thing. But normally for me, to make my process of filling out forms easier, I use Gemini because I have everything in Google Docs. Let's see, I don't want to open up my information like that, but because the way that Gemini works, you can literally ask. You see, I've asked it before, what's my DUNS number? What's my EIN number? It'll search through my forms and my documents and find it for me and just give it to me instead of me searching for the document that says it. It makes it a lot easier, it makes it a lot faster. Even when it comes to Gmail, you can literally just ask a question. It'll find the email that you were looking for when you just ask and you look. It makes the process a lot faster.
So that's what I'm saying. But you're a CBE, right?
Yes.
I saw that. So you went through the process, and I wouldn't say it's tedious, but it's a process.
Yes.
And I'm saying that it can deter a few people.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I want that to be easier when it's really not that complex if you really break it down, especially if you're new, you know what? I mean, if you're, so not to get into take up everybody else's time, but like what I'm saying is, these are the things as a person. This is
Mhm.
what, this is, and we all, we're probably all black on here. This is what a white boy go do, get a $1 billion valuation.
Mhm.
You
There's
know,
an act that actually won at DC Startup and Tech Week last year. It's an app called GovRat, and it helps you look for grants and RFPs and RFQs, and it helps you develop your proposal for it. And that way you can just submit for applications. Yeah, he won in the junior division of the pitch competition last
yeah, because I've seen, not to leave anyone else out, but I've seen that before. Somewhere along the line when they were talking about employees, and it's like they shift around. What is I want to say, I don't want to say the topic of the moment. Right now, skills. It was a point where it's like, all you need is employees. And
year.
that's basically the agents. But I guess they got away from it and they said, okay, well, let's accumulate the skills because you taught it the skill. So and I think that's one of the things that, just in my opinion, of just analyzing this thing, because I'm in a point where I feel like I'm gonna go back to school for AI, like just drop it all, go back to school because they said it was gonna take so many jobs away, but the reality is that it's not smart enough.
Exactly.
We the ones training it to be smart enough. So it's like they're leading us to it. It's like they're lying to you. Say, oh, AI is going to replace your job if you keep teaching it.
Yeah. Well, my favorite saying is that AI isn't going to take your job. The person who knows how to use it will. So we have to learn how to use it. We have to learn how to use it properly. If you do want to take classes and trainings, I'm actually partnered with, I offer trainings and one-on-ones, but I'm also partnered with Vets Group, who offers trainings and they get grants and subsidies. So it's actually very cost effective.
You're
I'm sorry, repeat.
Are you teaching that class with Vets Group?
I'm teaching some of them, yes, some of the AI classes.
I was just talking to him like a week ago, trying to get in there on that course. It's only because I was concerned it wasn't that long.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I offer one-on-ones as well, and everybody within this workshop today can book one. Let me share my link because the link that's shared is Calvin's, but you can book with him as well. But yeah, I'll provide a free session.
Oh,
because
yeah.
yeah, it's a free 30-minute session, and 30 minutes is a lot for me, anyways, because actually we can build. I was in a Google workshop. We built a course generator. Like literally, you want to learn anything, it'll produce an actual module course, not just like telling Gemini that, hey, I want to learn this, and it gives you a one pager. No, it creates a modular system of how you're going to learn something. Notebook LM, you can create flashcards for teaching yourself things. A lot.
That's what I was saying when I looked at, because even though I paid the guy 500, I'm also like reverse engineering what I'm seeing, and I'm like, because I mean, how I'm paying you? How do you manage to do it? Damn it! And that's the whole point that I'm saying. Grabbing it free. I think APIs are big, but they're grabbing a lot of free Frankensteining. Oh, you flashcard, okay, you do that, you do this, I put it all here, and being able to use this as a service. But what did he say here? The Genesis Quad, my guy, he's an AI.
Yeah.
He got a lot to add. Genesis
It's
Quad.
Yeah, it's not even about watchdogs. It's more so because they're not even active if you're not using it. If you don't tell it what to do, it doesn't know what to do.
So Erica, the agentic AI doesn't work on its own, like the autonomous stuff that the DoD is using. That stuff can malfunction, and how do you troubleshoot it?
And they had to turn it on, just like a car.
Okay, so
On and set it, and that's what these skills are: is you setting its mind. You're setting its thought process, how it should move, and what it needs to know. That's what, like, when you think of a skill, think of it that way. Like literally, you're programming its memory, its knowledge.
okay, so a few months ago, I read about a company where that AI, I guess, agentic system went rogue, and it cost them to lose like multi-hundred millions of dollars, and it also erased data that they couldn't retain or retrieve.
It was Claude. Well, one of the companies was Claude.
Yeah, I read an article like a couple months ago that had happened with the AI.
One of the companies was Claude. There was a bunch of different companies over the past few years that we haven't really heard about because here in the DMV area, we're in a bubble. So as much as, well, I personally am in a bubble for sure because I've been hearing about AI before even ChatGPT came out, consumer facing about 4 years ago, 5 years
I've
ago.
been hearing about it since 2010, and I've been in it since 2013. So that's how long I've been about it, like since 2012, 13.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like all the deep fake, all that stuff. People are like, "Oh, this is new." Like, no, it's been out. It's been out for a very, very long time, and you just haven't had consumer-facing access to it.
Public access.
Exactly. If you have access to the dark web, then yeah.
Yep. And the BitTorrent, 'cause the BitTorrent is the safety net.
The Bitcoins. Oh, and there's so many people that should have. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. So back to business. No, I can go on forever because I invest in stuff too. I do trading. I do too much. So what were we talking about for the systems? Yes. So you have to be careful. You have to be strict. When you do set your skills, your MDs, that's something to consider. Like you said, there was AI and that went rogue, deleted information and all of that stuff. And what could have prevented that is them putting the proper guardrails. in place. And by guardrails, I mean telling it literally explicitly in those skills, this is when you stop and consult to me. This is when you ask for clarification. This is when you just stop trying. Because that's another thing too, is a lot of people are bleeding money trying to use AI, and the token cost is exploding, and they're wondering why. Well, you're using the best model for, it's like using a power drill for something that only requires a screwdriver. So that's another thing to look out for. Bleeding dry because you're using the wrong models. The good thing about ChatGPT and Claude also, you can choose which model you use for which task. So if it's something simple like emails and things like that, use a smaller model that doesn't eat as much tokens, because then you hit your limits faster and you have to wait.
But see, that's the thing about, that's the whole thing about what I was talking to you about earlier about the different models in the mindset that the average person, so when you go use Claude, you're logging into Claude.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to use Claude.
Claude actually has different models. There's Opus, there's Sonnet, there's, I forget what the other one is. But yeah, there's different models at lower tiers that use less tokens per task.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's the layman, obviously, I think intermediary. I think we would look at this like apprentice, journeyman, and master, and you'll say, well, are you going to go in there, and at what level do you know to go in there and click, oh, I just need Opus for this? Kind of like when I'm using Copilot, it'll say smart, analytic, or whatever you want to do.
Exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing. So,
Exactly
some people aren't necessarily, now I'm doing, but it's not quite exactly the same thing because Copilot free. So,
but Copilot sucks. I talked to somebody from Microsoft, 3 different people from Microsoft. They even said it. But yeah.
I mean, but you only as smart. You really only as smart as you are. Kind of like
Microsoft. Yeah, they're not that good. They tried to get me to partner with them. I just can't. I just like Copilot. I don't like Copilot. It's just not gonna work. And then the government agencies.
I put a question in the chat about a price point, and I paid $20. But what you're saying is that I don't even need to pay that.
Depends on what you're using it for. You wouldn't have to. That's what I was waiting to answer your question, because it does depend on what you're using it for. So if you're paying this $20 and you're generating images and web pages and things like that, then yes, you should pay your $20 because you have higher limits. Yeah. So, but otherwise, if it's somebody that just wants to use it to rewrite emails or help me think of ideas or generating an image every 2 or 3 days or something like that, you don't need to pay for this $20. I don't see it being useful to pay out of pocket. I stopped paying for both of them, but that's because I have a whole bunch of open source stuff on my computer. I even have a voice generator on my computer, an open source one that's free. I have have DeepSeek, and have open source models. But even for the app that we use today, I use Google AI Studio though.
I think that's what but I think that's kind of what maybe somebody's saying in the sense overall, like the more exposure you get to these models and what's out there, do you really need to pay? And if you understand, then this is what I'm saying, you can understand your system, your workflow, how you do whatever it is you're doing and incorporate it into what you do. Somebody told me the other day, I was researching something because I'm looking to create something, and when I create the right something, I'm blow up a millionaire. I can stop working. My mind is that. So that they're saying AI native versus AI augmented. I was like, what is an AI native?
AI first versus AI native.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when someone's saying that, if my workflow, whatever we're doing as a workflow, it's probably it's going to be AI first.
Yes.
Because we're so yeah. Do I need to pay if I'm creating, all I do is create timesheets for people. Well, maybe not. I get that information. It comes in here. I send it to the AI. It remixes it, and I send it back. And I don't need to pay for that because there's a lot of free stuff for that.
Yes.
So you got to know. So that, I think that's kind of like, maybe, I don't know if there's going to be another session that like people to really get exposure to these various free models and what is the caveat. Because like a lot of the stuff looks the same. Maybe if you're using like images, if your prompt game isn't hard, you're gonna come out with something that looks generic, and for that you might as well have made it in Photoshop.
Well, there's a system for that as well, because you can always start in a chat and start describing, hey, help me create a prompt to create this type of image, and let it walk you through creating an optimal prompt for that, instead of wasting your time, energy, credits trying to just send your generic prompt, already knowing that it's not detailed enough. And say, hey, I'm using Midjourney, and I've done that before. I'm using Midjourney for this book cover, and I want it to be like this, and help me write this prompt. And then my favorite thing to always add is ask clarifying questions, and never make assumptions, because then that way it'll guide me through it. There was something I was using the other day that actually has a guide me mode, where you could just put it in that type of mode where it already knows everything that you present to it. You're gonna need guidance to move forward, and so it'll automatically guide you. What I'm sharing on my screen now are actual. That's what I was gonna say. I use Gemini now more than anything. I stopped paying for ChatGPT. I stopped paying for Claude, because I already pay for Google Workspace Business. And so that includes extended limits on all of their AI stuff that they have in the background. And then outside of my Google Business account, I have a Google Developer account that adds extra stuff as well. So you can schedule different tasks. You can have it generate your newsletter every week. You can have it generate your post daily. And an example that I was giving, similar to your image option, was going into a chat, telling it what your goal is, giving it as much context as you can, and telling it what you expect at the end of it is the key framework for all prompts. I call it the GCE framework. So it's the goal, context, and expectation. And then you can always add a role in there as well. I always will add a role. So like if you're my social media manager and I need a content calendar for the next 30 days, and we're advertising this specifically, and here's my website, and this is my business name, and I expect it to be a CSV file because I need to share it with the rest of the team. Like, that's as specific as you can get. It'll guide you through it. So we started out talking about skills. Because I have this screen up, I just want to say this is Google's version of skills. So whenever you create those skills and you go into Google to Gemini, you can add a new gem, and that's you creating a skill. You input the skill MD information here, you give your description, that way you know what it is when you go to find it, and you can add any additional context. So if you have an SOP for how you do your lead sourcing, you can add that document. If you have an SOP, if you have your intake form, you can add that as context. And it just, you can reuse the gem whenever you open new chats. You can add the gem or anything else that you might need. They had notebooks. Has anybody used Notebook LM yet? Nobody? Anybody?
I'm just shocked about all the different. I mean, Chat GPT is just the one I use. I didn't know there were so many others. And, is there value to exploring what others can do? Like, do they all do different things, or do you just pick one and go with it since they're all an AI?
Personally, I picked one and go with it. That's just for systemically to make it more fluid. for my operations. But in the beginning, you definitely should see which one works best for you. Like I stated, I chose Gemini because we get added features and it's already included in our Google Workspace membership subscription. And why should I pay anything else if I'm already paying for this? So I'll just keep this. And if I want to increase it, they actually have a higher tier of AI products. They have so many different things. I don't have to use HeyGen, but definitely explore what the best use case is for you. So like, what is your business? And what do you use AI for in your business?
So I have a farm business as well as like farm to table education. So right now it's like farm production that I'm doing. So I use it for like crop planning and what else? Mostly crop planning, but then in terms of like systems around my business where it's like, oh, I need to do an invoice, I just use my like Wix account, my website account, and I feel like I'm scattered across different software to get the work done. But I mean, chat's been working for me with crop planning pretty well, so I'm just kind of just sticking with that. But I think I do have Google Workspace, so and I pay for chat like $20 or something like that. So now I'm gonna look at Gemini and see like the difference between the two.
Yeah, because ChatGPT did add a chat work feature or something like that. It's supposed to be similar to co-work, but like I said, I stay in Gemini because they also have app scripts and things of that nature. So if I have a sign up form for, let's say the sign in form for this workshop, it's a Google form. When it populates on the spreadsheet, there's an app script in the background. Let me pull up app script. There's an app script in the background that will take that person's information, take the email address, and go ahead and send them their follow-up email once it detects that there's a new entry on the spreadsheet. I don't have one set up for this, I think, because I want to do this personalized, but I do have one set up for my podcast intake form.
That's the agent side of AI that you use for that?
Yes.
Okay.
And usually the agentic side is something that you don't have to interact with on a regular basis. You just set it up once and forget about it. Not literally forget about it, because you have to check and make sure it doesn't fail or anything like that, or update it as needed. Because let me see, like this one, it sends an automatic email. It already has the email written into it. Now I know how to do this code, but I didn't have to do this code. If you are new to things like this, and of course, most of you are, you have a new project and you can download the Gemini Chrome right here, where you see it's an attachment for the actual Google Chrome period, and you can ask it to help you. And this tab right here is showing that it can see what I'm doing. So if I say, help me write a script to connect this Google Sheet to this document, it'll do it. And you don't even have to be in App Scripts. You can literally already be in Google Forms or Google Sheets or Excel or wherever you are. It's connected to all of the apps, as you can see from this information page. And you can interconnect everything. It can send an email from your email address to somebody for you automatically, follow-up emails. You can connect it to your calendar. So when somebody books for a specific type of event, or let me see, a specific type of event or a specific type of interaction, then it'll send them an automatic email or send you an automatic message. Google also has a chat that I started using over Slack because it's just more convenient because it's connected to my Gmail. So chat. I'm the wrong email. And you can chat with different people. You have your different meetings. Even every time you have a Google Meet, it'll open and attach it to, if it's a consistent one that you have repeatedly, like a same weekly team meeting, it'll have its own chat for that. And it'll have the transcription from those meetings already conveniently in that one chat. I have this gem that I set up that'll automatically give me a summary of my emails every morning. I usually don't have to check it because I'm already self-trained to check my emails on a regular basis. It's a lot of convenience items. Does anybody else have another specific type of workflow or a system that they wanted to see or maybe discuss on how you can implement and execute within your business or your everyday life.
Well, I mean, I'm bringing my newest location online. So I'm starting to get questions about, oh, let's see your pricing sheet on what you offer. And so since this is my first year and I'm like tripling what I usually grow, I would like to be able to not have to deal with those emails and just have something that goes like responds directly to them that says, okay, based on what I'm growing out there, this is what I have, how much of it, and when it's ready, when it would be available.
Okay. And you said you do use Gmail?
Yes, as my like email
Yes.
host. Yeah.
And so when you get email inquiries, what can Gemini do in Gmail? I don't want to do that. I have emails. I'm gonna do this separately. What would be the fast? What you can do, I'm going to describe it and then I'm going to pull it up in a second because I have to think out loud. So what you can do is set up a system where your mailbox automatically labels those emails. Do you know how to label emails? As a matter of fact, let me use my other email address.
Is that like where you put the yellow flag on it?
No, that's just flagging it. This would be labels over here. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is labels over here. And so you would create new labels like this. So you can have all the different labels for if an email comes in that's invoices or like you said, which one were the inquiries
like a price inquiry
for your pricing sheets? Yes. So for your pricing sheets, and you would have all of that there. So first you would create the label, and then you would create the automation. I don't think you could do it on a free account. Do you have the business account?
A Gmail business account? Never heard of it. No, ma'am.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, they have a Google Workspace account. You get added access to certain items, so such as the app scripts and AI functions, added AI functions. What I'm doing. So in the free account, once you label them all, you can set up an automation. I'm trying to find all the buttons so I can show you right now. But if I can't find it, you can schedule a meeting with me. I think, let me reshare my link also, because I will walk you through it. I don't mind.
Okay. I'm happy to do that with you offline. I'll definitely jump on your calendar and see. I just I feel like I'm not sure what I need, but talking to you may help me identify what could be helpful to me at this stage.
Okay. Yeah, because that's one automation I definitely set up also is every time I get an email about invoices or something like that, it goes into one folder. And I had it being sent to my QuickBooks for a while, but then it kept sending duplicate stuff. I cut it off for a little bit because it had too many duplicate receipts. And that's why having a human in the loop is always important. Because who else do we have in here? Did you saw the scheduling link?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then another thing I can use, but I love using this side panel, this Ask Gemini side panel, because even if I was filling out a form like Tony was mentioning earlier, I can open this side panel and ask it questions. I can open up my drive in another tab and have it reference both tabs so that it can search for information I need while I'm filling out a form instead of going back and forth and back and forth. You could add all of the different tabs that you would need, and it will use all of that for context. And you can also browse skills if you already have some skills that are built. I want to think of an example I can do right now. Does anybody else have another system or task that they like doing? Anybody else? It's so quiet. Everything egg rolls.
No, ho. I'm trying to get to the phone to get off of mute.
Okay.
Yeah, I had something. What about for like grant writing and proposal writing? Proposal writing for either federal contracts or like private contracts with like local prime contractors. White and Turner, Smoot, the ones that you see, and do proposal writing so that way you can just go back in and add the rough order of magnitude, which should be the estimate for whatever the scope of work is.
Ooh.
And then of course for like grants and like specifically USDA funding, like how you put those proposals together? Is there any type of agentic or generative AI that can help with that once you put the parameters in? Like you identify parameters and then is it able to navigate and generate just a rough draft so that way you can, scan through it and review it and then start to cater it to your unique response?
If there is sensitive data in that, you see this button right here on Gemini, and ChatGPT has it, Claude has it as well, where you can do a temporary chat.
Okay.
It's just like incognito mode for your browser.
Okay. So it's not
Yeah.
tracking your cookies and stuff. Okay.
Exactly. It's not going to retain the information also. So if you want to be able to go back to the chat and reuse it for context, then don't use this. But if you have some sensitive data and you
just had to remember how you prompted, right? They get back the same results or the generative results are going to change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually what I do, if I have a prompt that I know is working well, I keep it in a note. But if for all of the people that don't use Apple products, just keep it in like a Google Doc or something. Or even text it to, well, I don't know if texting it to yourself works because
write it down on a notepad.
You could always write it down on a notepad, old fashioned. I still print stuff out.
Yeah, because a short pencil is better than a long memory any day.
Yes, it is. I like that saying. I haven't heard that one before. But yeah, I would definitely open this. Actually, what's more efficient? It would be more efficient to use Notebook LM.
Do you have some type of like sheet that can explain the different AI? Like this in like a one liner, like and then how it can be used. Yeah, like say for instance, if it's CapCut and say that's how you can make shorts for like YouTube. And then if you want to make long form, you'll use Descript. Or if you want to use Claude is more for higher education, academia versus real life stuff that everyone's trying to use it for.
Yeah, I can send that over.
Then ChatGPT is just a low hanging fruit.
It is. Actually, Copilot is lower than that. It's like a potato. Yeah, done.
So what about Latimer? Is Latimer any good?
I haven't even used that one. And then I have people who haven't. I have somebody who sent me one that's pre-launch that I still haven't tested yet. It's a native AI browser called Dat AI. I haven't started using it yet. It seems very useful. And then one of my other AI mentors uses Zoe Computers. Zoe Computers is actually really good as well. And it's worth its cost.
Okay, so if you was great at using the search engine when the computer was first becoming a thing, like in the 90s, you'd be overly prepared for the AI, correct? Okay, cool. Yeah, because I don't use any AI right now. I know how to use the computer though, so that's why I haven't touched it. But is there certain things that I would like to use it for? Like I was saying, generating proposals, just like a rough draft, or guess you can say a foundational format just to go off of, just to take the brainstorming piece away. It'll already give you all the points that you need to respond to based off the RFQ or the RFP or IFB. And then also, like I say, for grants, all that free money they got out there that the billionaires and trillionaires use to become who they are.
Yeah. And so that's why I have landed on Notebook LM at this point. Notebook LM. Sorry, they changed the name. It's Gemini Notebook. Yeah. Gemini Notebook, and it has awesome free limits. It has awesome storage. It literally, the purpose of it is the same thing that I was saying about creating these skills and putting all of the context together for your agents and for your AI, and for generative AI to be able to have the proper context without you having to type a paragraph every time, without you having to repeatedly ask multiple questions and no, that's not right and correct this. I've even created a skill for my podcast for it to like.
You have a podcast?
I do.
They provide the link for that also in the chat?
Yes.
I've seen the schedule, but I didn't see that. I'd like to check that out.
Yes. So let me get that for you right quick. I'm sorry, my brain got sidetracked. But Notebook LM is perfect, and that's another reason why I switched to using only Gemini, because in Gemini you can reference a notebook. You
Okay.
can, and y'all can't even see me doing this right now. I wanted to show you. I can't switch back and forth. So, but yeah, you can literally open a Gemini chat and reference this specific notebook. And that way you don't have to look for all of the different documents you wanted to create for context. Sometimes you don't even need to create a skill for certain things because you already have all the context right there, or you have multiple skills in it. One of these, I have 2 or 3 different skills in it. There, my brand voice, I have a skill that I built, and I have one, I think, for the emails and for the interview questions. So that way it saves me time, because instead of me starting from scratch, I just review what it built because it already knows my format, my voice. It knows all of my writings because I have several pieces that are published from different newspapers, magazines, professional writings, and then writer pages that I put up myself.
Okay, so this has compatibility for like data formatting to to go across or integrate with different platforms like YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok.
As far
Okay.
as using it as a source,
Yeah, as
I have not.
compatibility to integrate it. So say like if you had this and you wanted to do a voiceover while showing a visual on YouTube, does this integrate that way, or do you have to make it separately to integrate with the application that you want to use it on?
If you want to be able to use it with a different app,
So YouTube, that's YouTube. So can you take what's on Gemini Notebook and integrate it into a YouTube long form video or short form if you wanted to do like 30-second clip or 60-second clip? Or you have to redo everything on YouTube because it's YouTube format
so
and, data
I'm
protection
trying to
stuff.
completely understand your question. So are you saying you can take stuff from the Gemini notebook to use on?
Yes, and
Yeah,
use on YouTube without doing it again. So basically, you can take this and like if you was to copy and paste from Excel to Microsoft, it'll work. That's basically, I guess, what I'm saying in an analogy form. Or if I wanted to take something out of Microsoft Teams or Microsoft Suite and add to Google, because you can copy and paste everything. Like now, you can even copy and paste attachments and trade them back and forth without going to the actual attachment icon to upload it from the file. You can just drag the files now into your email. It
yeah,
ain't
and
gonna
that's
be
the
like
same.
that.
Yeah, that's for Gemini right here. You can upload files, you can copy and paste information, you can connect directly to your drive, or you can just put links up there for it
Right
to
into the
connect to.
websites. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that way it'll use it for context. So I gave it, like, for this, I gave it the context of that website is old. It's my old portfolio when I was in culinary school. I gave it like all of the context literally of me going way back as far as I could. So
For the
yeah,
culinary piece, For the
yeah,
culinary piece, if you cultivated like a recipe for a good tasting food delicacy, meat or whatever it may be, or seasoning, they keep track of that also for you to implement it if you wanted to like mass produce it on a small scale.
I would do a whole notebook for that. I would do a
Okay.
whole notebook for sourcing the products, each of the ingredients, for cost analysis, for pricing, for packaging, for
Logistics also.
yes,
It's
use
from the
one notebook
manufacturer all the
for
way to
everything.
customer, like
Yeah,
from field to customer or manufacturer to customer.
yes, I
So
would
what about
definitely.
CRM?
What about a CRM?
Is that in the notebook too, or use a different type of AI generative or AI agentic application for CRM?
As your CRM or in tangent with your CRM?
In tangent with the CRM. So
Yeah,
in tangent with CRM
I would. It
or
depend, and
service.
yeah, it depends on the type of clients you have, because I would do one for each of my clients. Quite honestly, I have one for each of our services.
That's unique, right?
Yeah, I have each
Okay.
one. I was part of a press group for the National Alliance to End Homelessness conference last month, I think. And so
Uh,
I literally have a whole separate notebook for that. Yeah.
okay. Then what about SEO? That's my last question. How does all this stuff integrate with SEO? Do you still have to pay for the SEO guru to get you into the SEO, or does this stuff automatically get you into it just by how you set it up or how you organize it?
It does not automatically get you in there. You want to make sure you're optimizing for not only SEO, but AEO. Yes, Agentic Engine Optimization.
So say that again, it's ACO?
Agentic Engine Optimization, because people have agents searching the web for them now.
AEO. So how do you get into AEO? Because I know, hey, my guy told me that when they did a chat GPT question, he came up as the #1 builder in Baltimore on a small
That's
scale.
good.
And he was amazed into how it happened. I told him, like, man, it's God, because I don't even know how that stuff integrating right now. But it's a thing called AEO, so that's what it is. I need to research that. Agentic Engine Optimizer. Okay.
Optimization. It's just like search engine optimization. It's just using more of the keywords across the internet completely. Because with agent engine optimization, you have to consider that it's not just looking for your website. It's looking for all of the instances that it knows that it can find of your website, the owners, and anything that's mentioned on your website. So it's a little bit, it's a little different and a deeper.
Yeah, because that's kind of scary. I didn't know that they're using a different term now. It's not SEO. It's agentic, as in an agent, right? Like a secret agent or autonomous agent.
Don't call it secret agent. You're breeding fear. There's no fear.
It is. It's like this stuff is coming to that movie. I think Jamie Foxx played in. It was called Stuff. When they built a state-of-the-art fighter jet that was supposed to work in tangent with the other jet fighters, but it went rogue, and they had to figure out how to destroy it. But also, they showed this in Fast and the Furious. Fast and the Furious, it was using the agentic optimization when it was using all surveillance to try to hunt down Ludacris and Fast Furious people. And it was an autonomous robot that was chasing them everywhere. And I think The Rock was the villain.
Of course.
Yeah, that was one of the last Fast and the Furious they showed. It was a couple years ago, like before COVID came on the scene.
There's so many of them I stopped watching. It was too much to keep up with. It's too much. I already watched 7 Harry Potters every year, 8 Harry Potters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, it's nothing to be scared of, more so than you're scared of your fellow human.
I'm saying the scary part is when they get out of control, who hits the kill button? Is there a kill switch for this stuff?
Yes, there is.
Shut the grid down, shut the power grid down.
The problem is who's behind the kill button.
They might be the people that run into the bunkers and they'll never touch the kill switch.
Exactly. So we have to remember all of the technology that we create has been created by us, which means it can only be as good or as bad as the human beings controlling it.
Yeah.
So if there's people who are saying like AI is a young people thing and all that. I did whole groups of the youth in several occasions, and one of the most recent ones was with Sarah Camarno. They don't really care for AI that much. Even my own son, like he grew up learning coding and stuff like that. That's what I taught him. He built his own computer last summer. No, last Christmas. For Christmas, he built his own computer. He's still not that much into technology though. He doesn't want to go into tech. He wants to do something hands-on.
Have to be. It's the new world order because hands-on is going to be like for social things like agriculture, construction, skill trades, what you have to do because they're not going to be able to generate something that's going to mimic the ability of a human, like the humanoid robot they keep trying to implement. It may be implemented on the war field, but in the reality of life, it's going to be a hard thing to implement because it's a lot of stuff you have to account for that's going to have an infinite number on it for all possibilities that can happen. So that's not going to really work. Not unless if they make something like how the easy pass lane is or whatever that lane is, the express lane, and they have that for autonomous vehicles only. That's something different. But to integrate that into regular society when people are still regular, it's going to be a very challenging thing. And daily accidents ongoing.
I see that as the direction that they would go in for that, though. It only makes sense.
Yeah, it was shown on Wolverine, the X-Men movie, when they had the autonomous trucks on there. I think Wolverine was being cloned and he had the daughter and they made like a mutant daughter that he had or something. I don't know what it was, but they showed that autonomous vehicle stuff in that.
I'll go even further back. It was on the Jetsons. So
Oh yeah, Jetsons, definitely the Jetsons. Yeah,
been working on this for over
Jetsons
20.
and Power Rangers. It was in Power Rangers too, with the crystals and forgot what he was, Gordon, whoever he was, with the robot.
So, does anybody else have any other questions while we're going back to the 90s nostalgia?
Nah, no questions. I just wanted to say something so you wouldn't think I wasn't. I'm just listening and taking it all in, especially since I missed the first class in reference to the AI stuff.
Yes, ma'am. Did you feel like you got some value out of the session?
Definitely got some value out of the session. Some of the I just recently learned about Claude maybe a couple of weeks ago. I'm not, I'm not really like. I mean, first of all, you the GOAT on everything. I was listening to all your little accolades and stuff, man. That's tight, like
Thank you.
a lot of us hate to read, so we miss a lot of good information and a lot of, good things because we just want everything handed to us easily or, somebody to just give us the answers to everything. But for me, I definitely learned a lot and, made aware of a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. I'm not going to say I'm not computer savvy, but I basically just use the computer for basic everyday needs that I deal with. But it's a lot of things that I need to look into, like AI and just scheduling and, setting up for like my biggest like roadblock for me is posting on my business page for my business. Like I hate it. Like I could post on my regular page and put some funny stuff up there, whatever, every day and cool with it. But once I got the 100 hashtags and then like this and that, and I got to explain it and put the address and that, I'd be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it just becomes overwhelming before I even get started. So I have been lacking on like posting on my business page, i.e. Instagram, and like posting where I'm at and different things like that. And I noticed that I posted a couple of days ago for my location to be at the College Park Farmers Market. And it was a difference in my sales that day because people knew where I was at. And, I actually sold out versus, not even taking home 5 egg rolls. Everything was gone. People was like, man, you need to post more so we can know where you at, this and the third. And like, it kind of lit a fire under me, but I definitely appreciate, you know, all of this stuff that y'all, a lot of stuff I didn't know what y'all was talking about. Y'all way ahead of the game than I am. But for the most part, I definitely learned a thing or two that I could understand.
I shared my survey and calendar links. There's 2 calendar links. One is for Calvin, one which is my co-founder, and one is for myself. I also shared a link to my YouTube channel, which is Prosperity Pathways Podcast. I usually have a weekly episode. It's picked up, so it's weekly right now. And then I have weekly Wisdom Prosper Wednesdays. There's also on Luma, if anybody knows about Luma, it's like Eventbrite, but it's more tech events on there. So I have a weekly build and bank sessions there every Tuesday evening. So there's a session today at 7, I think I have it set for. Either way, it's on my calendar, so I'm always there. And I definitely agree with you, everything egg roll, because being on social media seems like a job when it has to be a job.
Yes, yes. And it's he like, don't have to like just forget it. I'm just gonna see who show up. I'm not even going through all that. But you kind of sell yourself short when you don't follow through with those kind of things. And I learned that this weekend past.
Yeah, I definitely learned it from I was in the We Aspire program, and a couple of the other participants, they've gotten really good at being present on social media. And so I kind of watched them and I'm like, okay, I need to get on. And so I've started doing TikTok lives once a week as well. But I started just writing more and publishing more of my writing because I'm not writing. I like writing. So. But other than that, I will start doing my weekly TikToks. They will be sporadic. I will not schedule them because I want to make sure I get it done. Yeah. Do we have any other questions?
So when we book this 30 minutes, because I booked mine for Thursday, so you're gonna help me build what I need to build. And I think you were taking people through to Google Studio.
Yeah, if you want to build something in Google AI Studio, that'd be cool. We can do
So
that.
that's what. So that's the thing about the building these things, and like you said, it's a platform specific. Like, is it agnostic? I mean, if I build it in Google, I can publish it in the App Store. It can work autonomously if it's downloaded, or if I put it live on the internet, you could go and use it to do what you needed to do.
Yeah, you can use it straight from there. It'll run through. You can either use it straight from Google AI Studio and just do all of those things that you needed to do, publishing it to the App Store, all of that, or you can separate it out. A lot of times I might pull it from Google AI Studio. Lately I haven't because I have credit up there to host it. It's really cheap, quite honestly. So it's not really a big need to move it anywhere else. But I do have projects that I have in GitHub that I have self-hosted via Netlify.
I needed time to get it up. It's almost ready to pay.
Our website I definitely built myself, and it's
Yeah, right here. I can't get that off.
That's where we are. I need to be able to be strong enough to make my own solution to sell to people.
Yeah, quite honestly, even if it's on an individual basis, even if it's on a subscription basis, because a lot of times we want to hand off something to people. My favorite instance of that is on the Apple movie. If you haven't watched it, Steve Jobs, when he first built his first computer, he built just the drive to sell to people. And when he went to go try to sell it to the person he had did a contract with, they ordered I think it was 50,000 pieces. And here's the prototype of it. He said, "Oh no, we need something that's out the box, ready for people to use. They don't want to have to put it together or figure it out. They want the simplest thing, just like my networking app that I'm finishing up, just like Whisper Flow, which I love using. It's an advanced version of text, speech to text. So instead of me having to go back and correct everything I said, it has it right every time, unless I've misspoken. And you can build a specific dictionary so that when you say a certain word, it'll populate a link or a long form of that word or sentence. There's a lot of AI tools out here that do the simplest things that can make the most money. Granola, a note taker app that I just started using, they just raised $43 million last month. And all the app does is connect to your audio of your phone, tablet, computer, whatever you're using to record what your conversation so that it can transcribe and make notes for you so that you could be fully present. And then it has a built-in AI that you can use those notes for creating
What is
a
called?
follow-up email. Granola.
What is called again?
Granola.
Granola. I'm gonna give that to my best friend. My best friend just got a job. One of her best friends found her a job working for us, doing that, listening to the meeting, and having to do the notes. $65 an hour.
And you don't even have to actually do the job.
That's crazy. I'm definitely about to send her that. So
this is what I'm trying to tell people is like
crazy.
That's what I was getting to.
With the click clack, listen.
You don't even have to make. You literally just use what's out there. And I think that the lowest level subscription of it. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now because I said I want to sign up for the subscription, but even if you pay the subscription, you're still making more money than what you're paying for an advanced level. The enterprise level subscription is $35 per person. The business level is $14 a month. For her to make $65 an hour and be able to just look like she's in the meeting and then use the notes that it generated afterwards, you can't tell me that that's not worth her paying $14 an hour, but you're getting paid $65 40 hours a week, 4 weeks out the month. You don't have to create your own app, just use what they have out there.
Still.
That's like stealing. I'm sorry. It
Exactly.
sounds kind of like stealing. But I mean,
Hey,
they just
man,
asked her
God
to do the
Almighty.
job. They didn't ask her, they didn't tell her how she had to do it. They just asked her to do the job.
Exactly.
That's what I mean by you're not gonna lose your job to AI. It's the person who knows how to use it. And by her being that person, if she knows how to use it efficiently and she discloses that she's using it, she can disclose that she's using it just for safety and security reasons, like let them know. And they'll have no problem with it. She will probably get more work. She might get hired somewhere else because you don't even have to spend that much time in the meetings because you're not even actually in the meetings. It reminds me that the meeting's coming up and everything. You want to start taking notes, click on join. I have it connected to my calendar. It detects when I'm on the phone. If I want to record it, I can. But my phone, I'm not sure if Androids do it, but I know iPhones have where you can record calls now, anyways. So if you need to record calls, and it'll say it out loud so that they know they're being recorded. That helps. That's like the best, most efficient way to do business is to always record anything related to business, anything related to your business, because then even if you're training somebody, if you're instructing somebody, if you're doing something on the computer, talk out loud and record yourself because that's the easiest way to create your systems instead of trying to sit down and just write it out. Well, I do this and then I do this and then I do this. And then wait, if this doesn't happen, then I got to do this. You have to create your systems to be foolproof, repeatable, foolproof and repeatable because that's what's going to increase your ROI. That's what other companies who want to partner with you, or that is what's going to make them even consider partnering with you even more. It's not just for your own efficiency, it's to increase your revenue, increase your ROI, your revenue per person, and make your life better. You have more time to do, like I said before, the more human centric jobs, to spend time with family, to think about how to expand your business more rather than working in it, you're working on it. Okay.
But I'm trying to get on the schedule now for Thursday at 11, so that way I can speak to Soundbar.
Okay.
But I'm waiting on the email to populate so I can put in the verification code.
It's no problem. If nobody has any other questions, I would like to give you back 10 minutes of your day, but I am more than open to answering more questions. And then I'm also going to send a follow-up email with all of this information. Was everyone able, if everyone can complete the feedback survey for me, did everybody get a chance to capture all of the links and the survey that they need before we end?
I think so. Let me make sure though.
Okay.
I'm a screenshot it. Share. Yeah, I think I got everything. Yeah, I got everything.
All right.
Okay, let me go back to Zoom real quick. Is that vets group? Is that for veterans?
No, it's not only for veterans.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the name of it. It's owned by a vet.
It's owned by a veteran.
Mr.
Okay.
Wynn.
And that's the link for the class.
They offer several classes. I also provided my website link, and so Vets Group offers classes and trainings, but also they're a pipeline if you decide you want to hire somebody with the skills already.
Oh, they have veteran employees.
They have veteran employees. They have just DC resident employees as well because they also offer programs. That's where I got 5 of my certifications. At the time, they had a lot of grants coming in, so I was able to get stipends for everything. So I got paid to learn. I get paid to learn, and I got 5 of my certifications through them. 2 of my CompTIAs, no, 4 of them, yeah. 2 of my CompTIAs, my AWS, and I think something else. And I interned with them about 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah. So one of my other mentors, Black Meta Agency, the owner of Black Meta Agency, Howard, he was letting people know yesterday in a post, information is a currency as well, not just money. So a lot of times when they have, a lot of times when they have free events and stuff like that, they ask for your email for a reason They ask for your phone number for a reason. I'm not doing text marketing right now, so that's why I didn't ask for it.
I can sell that stuff. I need some teenagers that was doing that.
Teenagers don't even want to do it. I'm gonna be completely
Yeah.
honest with you. I've been asking mine for years. He's
Mhm.
15. Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of them do though, because you don't see them in the workplace like that.
No, there are a lot of them that do because I did. Let me see. There was a clothing store that I was consulting for once point, and they had a teenager. He was doing photography, so yeah, they pick something that they have a passion for and they know how to go for it. That's what this new generation is, for the most. I'm not even gonna say for the most part. Most of them, some of them are just going crazy. But yeah.
So for the other question, they say I use AI tools right now. I don't utilize them at all, but I know about them, and I only want to use it for certain aspects. I don't want it to be used in a way that it's making me lazy and I'm just managing AI. I want to use it the way it's like effective and efficient to like saving time and just getting everything with the fine tooth comb through it so I can just go and put the, customization on it to make it look unique.
Right. That's what I do. That's what I use it for too. And so I end up putting more stuff on my plate because now I can do more. I have more
Yeah,
to do.
I need my
Yeah.
time. Forget the data, forget the money. I want my time. And then after the time, I
Exactly.
want peace. Like, forget all the rest of this stuff. Everybody can have that and chase that, but I want time and peace.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I have a son. I want to have another one. So I want time, family,
Yeah,
time, quality time with my family. So time and the money to spend with them.
yeah. Which part of worship most valuable to you?
All right, my good people. Love you guys. We have another training again. If anybody want to get a food manager certification, that's next Tuesday in person in Baltimore. So if you know any other businesses and their owners want to get certified, definitely let me know. We could just work toward that. And the alcohol safety training that will be virtual. Let me know about your interest in that. And we are looking at the organic trade certification. If anybody is interested in understanding how to obtain that, that's another one that we're trying to get done before all of our sessions in, family. And our last
I'm
session,
interested, Miss Amanda.
I got you. For which one? Organic trade?
Because then we're gonna double stack the Surf Pro because they already got a Surf Pro.
Yeah.
Mobile food trailer and everything. But I'm interested in an alcohol one and whatever that organic
Okay.
full label is because everything's organic if you're growing it. I don't understand it.
Exactly. Exactly. So and then I had my team, we just completed our application, but we are we're gonna try to run through that before these sessions in. So last session is on the 25th in person. So just letting you guys know, and at the same location in Baltimore. Do y'all meet in between time?
Yeah, we got the project. I'm doing a project right next door today. We fitting out that space for the spa, I guess, mental health training session. It's right next door to it. So when you walk in through that door to the left, that's one of the projects that I'm taking care of.
Awesome. You're amazing. I need to talk to you offline about some other stuff.
Okay.
All right, je ne sais quoi.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
All right, you too. All right,
Thank you
Erica.
for having me, Amanda.